Hi, today we'll try to improve, or more correct to say, fix how traction control works at Pajero. We'll talk about the Pajero Mark IV produced from 2007 till the date when it was discontinued, but probably, I don't know it for sure, but probably it works also for the previous generation of Pajero, the Pajero Mark III. What actually we are going to do? Yeah, we are going to enable traction control when rear differential lock is engaged. The problem is in Pajero when you are enabling the rear differential lock, the Pajero automatically disables traction control. So that means your front wheels are not really working. So you are driving 2x4 and not 4x4. And this is what we are going to fix by this mod. Why Mitsubishi implemented it this way, I don't know. Probably they didn't really need it for Paris-Dakar rally, or maybe just wanted to save some budget for testing or whatever, I don't know, but de facto it can be fixed and we can enjoy off-road driving. So we'll install this switch in order to work around the issue. So I already prepared the switch and all the wiring. We'll install in Pajero. We'll talk about it in a moment. In order to do that, we need to remove all these plastic stuff, and including the gloves box. And the goal is to get to the screws located here under these plastic stuff, and to get to the connectors also hidden there. We'll need to manipulate with the connectors and cables, and we'll need to cut some of them. Okay, so let's go. So we remove the screws, we remove clips here, and clips in the top and bottom. Now we can remove all these stuff. This is what we get. This is the screw we were looking for, and similar screw in similar location is located on the other side. They are symmetric, you see. So now we just needed to pull it out. This is what we get. This is the connector we need. The cables we need is gray and yellow. The gray, don't be confused with white one, don't work in dark. So the gray and yellow. And for the Australian cars, as I know, it can be green instead of yellow. But what is most important, the location, not the color, and we'll talk about it in a moment. So we're going to install this switch. This switch has, it's a DPDT so-called switch. It has 3 states. So now they connected, we can to test. Now we can see we have a 4 on 4. We are trying to lock the rear differential, and as you can see, all lights on the bottoms, upside, top side are on. That means traction control doesn't work. Now we are using switch. We activated traction control. So once traction control is activated, actually your driving a real 4x4, not 2x4. Another option can be here. It's independently of your position, with this differential, without locking differential. You can activate or deactivate the traction control. It can be good for sand, for example, or deep water. This is how the switch is looks like when it's already connected on the console. Now we just need to assemble in opposite order everything. As you can see, this is how it looks like. So this is how it's located in the entire console. So all is working now. Looks, I think, pretty good. Why this switch? Specifically this switch is firstly my son told me it can be cool to use this switch because it looks cool. It's like nitro. From one side, from other side, it can prevent accidental changing states. It's, you know, you see it's covered, and it's covered in a way when it's you're not using it in the bottom position of the switch. It's actually in the original vendor defined position. Don't remember whether I told you guys already. It should be DPDT switch. There are many different variants and forms. You can find the one you're looking for and you like. It should be pretty easy, a couple of bucks on AliExpress. And now some explanations. This is how the connector looks like. So you see these positions. We need 78 and 85 pins, the gray and the yellow. Again, the yellow can be green in Australian cars. So use the pin location. These how the connectors looks like when you are removing all the plastic stuff. The two rows of connectors, we need the top row, and our connectors are on the right side. It's a 17 pins connector. So what we need actually to do is in the connector itself, we need to cut these cables going to the 78 and 85 pins. So on the other side, you can see how the DPDT switch looks like on other side with the connectors. So we're connecting the yellow and gray ends from the connector to pins 3 and 4 on the DPDT, and the other ends we're connecting to 5 and 6 accordingly. So what it allows us to do is when the switch is the bottom position, actually we are connecting back yellow and gray cables, so it's the vendor, let's call it the vendor position, no changes. If the switch will be in the middle position, then the cables are wires are disconnected, and that means the traction control works no matter what. It always will be connected, activated. Okay, so these are how wires are going to the toggle switch. In other position, we'll a yellow cable from the cutted side will short it to the pin 1 on the switch, and the pin 2 will need to connect to earth, actually to any metal part of our car. In this case, in the top position of the switch, only yellow cable will be connected and the gray will be disconnected, and these will allow us to switch off the traction control. So traction control will not work, and it can be good in cases when you, for example, in driving in sand or in deep water, or some mud with very liquid, which is very liquid. Okay, that's all.